crinkles will show up. So the new dome is a perfect complement to this system. And of course, the room has been remodeled, where now we have carpeting all around and brand new seats that are very comfy. I'm sure you'll agree once you start sitting in that. We're just excited about what we can do with this theater. I'm going to start the show, and you'll see the progression of how the code lighting comes down, the music starts, and the visuals come up. And we'll let that run for a few minutes. Okay, now. I will say that the bright lights watch things down. I will let this run into the optical sky part, and then I can back up into this section if you want to see how still it is. I'll freeze it for certain frames.
Well, we've spent $1,300,000 for a new planetarium, and obviously we don't have a PA system. I'm supposed to greet you and welcome you to Bays Mountain, but instead I'm going to tell you a story. But I won't take long. Almost 4 decades ago, I stood about right here, and I was responsible for the first group of volunteer naturalists. And they were standing right out here a lot like y'all are. And I said, I was fresh out of graduate school, thought I was hot stuff. And this was a brand new building. Didn't even have any of these exhibits. It was bare. We did have the planetarium, but it was significantly different than what we have here. So I made it a point, had the temerity to welcome those 30 volunteers to Bays Mountain Park. And one of the more outspoken amongst them, most of you probably are familiar with Charlotte Finucane, stood up and said, no, Tom, we are proud to have you here at Bays Mountain Park. So I'm not going to welcome you. I'm going to thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this with us. It is a milestone. I've been here almost 40 years. This is the first redo of the planetarium we've ever done, and it is phenomenal. I hope those of you that have seen the show enjoyed it. So I'm not going to welcome you. I'm going to thank you for being here and sharing this event with us. It is your park, and that's my point. Most of the folks in this area see Bays Mountain and view it with a lot of personal ownership. And that's as it should be. If you don't, shame on you. We want you to prepare to go beyond. But I want to thank some folks. I want to thank the city leaders who made possible this total renovation of the planetarium, and believing so strongly in the effort to provide first-class opportunities for all who visit this. This includes past and present members of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, whose support and has been unwavering and has truly helped shape and mold Kingsport into the city we can all be proud of. We also extend a gracious thank you to members of the Visitors Enhancement Program, whose funding was a valuable component of the renovation process. We do and always have enjoyed a tremendous amount of support within our business community and those involved in the areas of economic development through industry and tourism. One of our chief goals at Bays Mountain is education, and we continue to be humbled by the number of the support that we get from many schools throughout the region. And we especially recognize the support we receive from the great citizens of Kingsport and throughout the Tri-Cities region. Again, to each of you, we extend a very hearty thank you and look forward to your continued friendship and serving your needs. Let's take a moment to thank the staff, Bays Mountain, who through their tireless effort and dedication have ensured the overall success of the park. Finally, thank you the fine folks at the Kingsport Grocery Company, Bonfire Smokehouse, for the wonderful food and beverage we are enjoying this evening. You all need to enjoy that food and beverage. I would like to name all of you because you're all special.
You can use that if you want.
Do I need it? But I want to recognize a number of specific folks that are here this evening. Representative Tony Shipley, Representative David Hawk, Kingsport Alderman Pat Schul, Kingsport Alderman Ken Marsh, Judge Dwayne Snodgrass, from the Kingsport Board of Education, Wally Boyd, Pat Turner, and Ron George. Thank you all for coming. I want to turn this over now to Adam Thans. Adam has spent, seems like 2 years doing this. It's really only a year, isn't it? Something like putting this thing together, and he really is the moving force in it. So I want to turn it over to him for a moment.
Thank you, Tom. Well, here we are, a year later after closing. Now we're opening. And for those of you who've seen the show, I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you understand this is just the tip of the iceberg of some of the capabilities of the system. Many other features are available, and that we want to explore ourselves to use with area school children, for school groups, and for the public, and to increase astronomy knowledge and also environmental knowledge and just understanding our place in it. A few people I'd like to thank personally. One is the staff of Base Mountain. They have really worked really hard. I don't know if you noticed since it's getting later in the evening, but the staff actually painted the building themselves. So fresh coat of paint, a huge amount of cleaning throughout the building, working very hard. And it's going to get real busy with school groups, I hear. So we're going to have lots and lots of kids here, and it's going to be really exciting. I'd also especially like to thank Alan Davis, who is hiding back there. Well, there's his hand. I've mentioned him in the show, but I want to mention him again. Our senior artist here at Base Mountain, who's responsible for the 3D animation work that was in our program. But just being an integral part in the production of the show, there's a huge amount of work, and we're back and forth on ideas and how to make something work because it won't, and banging our heads in the wall constantly because of all these problems. And a year later, we finally get everything working. So I want to thank Alan for all of his hard work and his dedication. Lots of hours at home learning what is necessary for image creation. And also the great artwork. This is the show poster by Alan, and also the blue and black imagery that you see also from him. Something else I want to mention very quickly, this metal sign we just had made, which was kind of a collaborative effort between Alan, myself, and Jason Dorfman, highlighting the theater and its entrance, and also the Orion sculpture that you hopefully saw in the foyer when you first enter. And those turned out really well. And we're really excited about that as well, trying to add a level of art to learning about nature and astronomy. Also like to thank Jason Dorfman, who I think is in the theater, who is the other half of the Planetarium department. And the soundtrack you heard, composed and performed by Jason, all the mix down, and the whole 5.1 surround, actually 6.1 surround technology, and integral with the sound system for this theater, and taking a very professional approach to this project, but also his job. And boy, we're going to really get into it with all the school groups and all the public programmings, and really being able to now share what we have learned with everybody else. And everything's turned out real well. And I should mention also Ellen Dorfman, Jason's wife, who is right over here, who's been responsible for a lot of this event that you're in right now. So that everything's turned out so well. And last, I'd like to thank my wife, Robin, right over there, who I'm embarrassing, to dealing with me, putting up with me, all the hard work. Right? Yep. So, but we're both passionate about astronomy. She actually teaches astronomy at Northeast State Technical Community College. So we have the same passion about all of this, but it's kind of in a different vein. But a great joy to actually bounce ideas off of her, and, ask her questions, and she'll have some great support and ideas. So I will, and I also want to thank a few people visiting, those that are involved with the actual structure, the project itself. We have 2 visitors from Zeiss, from Germany, Anne Wagner and Rolf Haas, There they are, back there from Zeiss. They're working on some of our equipment to get it even better, little tweaking, some little upgrades. And here for the opening, we're glad to have them traveling out here. It's so nice. And also Laura Messiah and John LaRosa from Seiler, who are next to them. They represent Zeiss in the United States for the Planetarium theaters, and excited to have them here too. And they're all actually old friends because of the planetarium profession that I've known them for years. And we also have, we also have folks from Broadway Sound who are responsible for our sound equipment installation. I'm going to stop now and introduce John Campbell, the city manager of the city of Kingsport. And I'd also like to thank the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and the city manager for the great insight into this project. Education is the best investment we can ever make. It always pays back. And so I thank them for the funding and for the ability to allow us to do this project, and we're just really excited about the future with this theater and also Bays Mountain Park. So I will give it to John Campbell. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam, and also Tom, for your outstanding four-decade leadership of this facility, this area. Let me say how much the mayor was really disappointed he could not be here tonight. This is something he had been looking forward to for a long time, but he had promised his brother after he finished chemo treatments that he would take him to the beach. So he's at the beach, and it's not for him, it was for his brother. His son James is here tonight, and he's probably going to be embarrassed too, but I recognize James, so we're glad to have them represented. And let me also say too how much I appreciate the policy decisions of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen to make this decision. This is truly a great decision, and really the setting up the Visitors Enhancement Program, which ultimately paid for this. If you'll bear with me a minute, the mayor had some comments that he did want to make, so I'm going to have to read some of these. So, if you will, on behalf of the city of Kingsport, first I want to say how excited we are about this project. Today is an excellent example of Kingsport's commitment to go beyond. The grand reopening of the planetarium symbolizes the community's commitment to education, recreation, tourism, and above all, science and technology. Beyond a doubt, Bays Mountain Park is Kingsport's crown jewel, and the planetarium renovation employs the best available technologies, thus opening new horizons of opportunity to our citizens and industries alike in Kingsport and throughout our region. Since opening its doors in 1971, Bays Mountain Park has played a valuable role in education. And I might say, best I can recollect, my first visit to Bays Mountain was in 1961, when a person that meant a lot in our neighborhood, Paul Gallagher, brought a group of ragged kids up here to hike, because that's all you could do was hike and look at the dam and everything. So this is really special for me. Just in the 10 years prior to being closed for renovations, the planetarium was host to more than 250,000 visitors, learning more about our night sky and what lies beyond. The technology of our newly renovated planetarium will ensure first-class learning opportunities for this generation of students and beyond. For those within our business community and recruiting employees to our region, Bays Mountain Park is an important tool in an effort to quality of life issues that are often a critical part of this process of bringing the best talent to an area. The new planetarium can only further enhance this area as it provides families and individuals yet another opportunity to enjoy the resources Kingsport has to offer. The uniqueness of the planetarium will also serve as well in attracting tourists who are passing through Kingsport or who may be here thanks to one of the many events Kingsport Convention and Visitors Bureau and others host each year. In fact, as Adam mentioned earlier, we've already been selected as host site for the 2010 SEPA conference, an event that will result in more than $100,000 of economic impact. That an immediate return on investment. Speaking of tourism, the renovation itself was, as we mentioned, was funded by the Visitor Enhancement Program, and this program comes, the funding from this comes from hotel motel tax, so it is coming from our visitors primarily. This time I'd like to introduce this year's chair for the Kingsport Chamber of Commerce, Julie Bennett, to make some comments. And again, thanks to everybody for being here, and really enjoy your party.
Thank you, John. Oh, sorry. I want to add my congratulations on behalf of your Kingsport Chamber of Commerce to Bays Mountain Park and to the city and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and thank you for the investment you've made in our city and continue to make in our city. Kingsport truly is the best place to live and work, and it's because of these kinds of investments that's true. This is yet another exciting announcement, and more to come and more going on. I mean, Kingsport really has a lot going on right now, and we're really pleased and proud to be a part of that. The impact of this has been mentioned earlier, and it is truly phenomenal. The vitality and the future success of this park is definitely ensured, I think, with this huge investment that's just been made and revealed tonight. And I'll tell you, I've seen the show, and if I was looking at the numbers correctly, I'm pretty sure I've seen shows with all of the projectors that we've had here. So nobody, fortunately, mentioned when the first one was, so that won't tell you how old I am yet. But, I came here as a child. This was always one of my favorite field trips. My children come here, and it's one of their favorite field trips, too, and I can't wait for them to come see this. I think it's going to be exciting. They're going to be thrilled. The educational focus of Bays Mountain is something that, we need, and we have so many different places throughout the city, and this is just such a wonderful asset and such a wonderful thing that the kids can come up here and learn about things hands-on and see them in a way that, children in other cities, we may take it for granted, always having been here, but children in other cities just don't have things like this. So it's a great thing. And typical Kingsport, they did it world class, one of a kind, and state of the art. So this is a great thing. And it definitely shows and reflects the Kingsport attitude. So, this is going to continue to be one of our proudest assets, and it's one that our Kingsport Convention and Visitors Bureau is proud to promote and support and be a part of and bring visitors to. And we appreciate everything that the city's done and that the Bays Mountain staff does. And so on behalf of your Kingsport Chamber of Commerce, again, thank you, and I will turn it back over to Tom.
While others were talking, I got my hand slapped because I missed a couple folks. Miles Burdine with the Chamber of Commerce, Judd T. Tom Parent over here. I was talking with him just the other day, and I was questioning his sanity. But at this point, those of you that haven't seen the show, there is another showing at 6:45. I don't know if there are seats. You're welcome to go back again. I haven't seen it yet, so I believe that's when I'll go. Thank you all for being here.